Hello, everybody. Welcome to the World Sports Betting Met on this Saturday. We're doing this on Friday. Very excited to have all of Daryl Marie, Darren Burrows, and our guest Gabriel Soma. So it's an exciting show. The guys have not put their heads together. Whatever they've done in a unique manner, not having discussed it with anybody. So what you're going to see is ultimately each one's own opinion. So good to have Darren on the line. Darren, let's start with the opener at Kenilworth and talk. It's a 12-race program. Just a reminder, if you are not a WSB client, they have got this promotion on that you can have a look at, WSB Med 500. It's a 500 Rand risk-free bonus that's in your account when you open up using that code. So you may as well take advantage of that, and hopefully they can keep entertaining you as well. So, Darren, the first, let's talk about the opener. Give me some indication as what we need to do here.
Clyde, we can have a strike on this horse, Apple Catcher. Now, watch the replay of her debut. She did show pace. She's a lovely big filly, and she quickened up smartly, and she just got outrun by a more experienced horse. I think she's going to come on leaps and bounds from that run. She holds Jazz Diva on that effort, and I'm not too concerned about Head Girl, as she doesn't quite round her races off. So I think Apple Catcher very hard to beat.
Okay, maybe then it's an early strike. Paddy Crayer's horse, 14-10 on the Friday. Gabriel Soma, very nice to have you on the show again, Gabriel. Well done with your winners this week. Very good to see you in the winners' enclosure twice in the week. Congratulations. Have you got an opinion on the first race?
Thanks for having me, Clyde. Yes, always nice to have winners. We'll take them whenever we can. And I do have an opinion on the first race. I agree with Darren. I think Apple Catcher will be hard to beat. I like the fact that she's been given 6 weeks from her first run to her second run, and I think she'll take all the beating. I do think Head Girl is the main danger. Grant van Niekerk is the stable jockey, and he chose to ride Head Girl over Jazz Diva. So I think they'll run in that order. Apple Catcher from Head Girl, but hard to beat Apple Catcher.
Thanks very much for that, Gab. And so there we go. Daryl's with us. You got the same view on it, Daryl? Apple Catcher?
Clyde, I'm going to tip number 3 for second of year. Apple Catcher to beat Hirkomi Boki. She came to the track with a reputation, this filly. She's now having a peak run. She just needs to settle in running. She's better than what we've seen to date. So 2 from 3 for me, Clyde.
Okay, the good thing about Apple Catcher, of course, comes from the Touch of Grace form line. And that also La Pura Vida came to win. So it's been confirmed. So there's an all to come that Darren Burrows has worked out. And this is what he recommends that you guys do. Here it is. I'll put it up for you now. Ricardo will have a go at it, and he's showing it to you now. Apple Catcher now, and he likes his horse Kariaku in the second race. Darren Burrows recommending you take that all to come. So, can Christophe Soumillon strike his first win on Saturday? That's the question here. Well, Darren Burrows certainly thinks so. We know that because of his recommended double from the first into this horse, Kariaku. And it appears from that form line already that it's already worked out, Darren. So you may be onto something here. Give us confidence.
Yes, Clyde. This horse is a sprinter. They tried him the 14 last time out. He doesn't quite see it out. In his penultimate start, he should never have lost. He must have been 8 lengths off the speed over 1,000 meters, and he got beat a short head. Now, 3 runs back, he had Green Falcon well behind him. Green Falcon is favourite in this race, and Kariaku's now been gelded and given a short break. So I think he'll be back with a big run.
Okay. Sudden Song and Coronation Time, Daryl, came from that Holy Orders form line. So that's solid. You like the same?
Yeah, you forgot to mention that they've both won 2 since then, Clyde.
Yeah, that's worked out well.
I believe this horse is a better horse up the straight. He hasn't had the best of luck once he's gone around the turn. Clyde, this is a special weights event, and he's only got 57 to shoulder, so I certainly make him a live wire over here. I like the fact that he has been gelded. I think improvement from number 6 over here, Clyde, Sir William. I'm putting a line through his later starts over the 1400 from the worst draw. Up the straight now, and take note, Clyde, he's a blinker strike. 54.5 to shoulder, SK in the irons. I'm hoping he pushes forward because I think he's better than what we've seen today.
Okay, 14-1 danger, then number 6, Sir William. Gabriel, let me talk to you about the race quickly to give your opinion. It is the start of the bipot, as I understand it. Am I correct in saying that it is the start of the bipot?
That's correct.
It is, yeah. Gabs, what's your opinion here?
So, Clyde, I make Green Falcon the horse to beat. I know he got beat by Kariaku behind ensuing, but that was Green Falcon's first run after the gelding. Kariaku comes after a little bit of a break and has been gelded, so we just got to take it at face value that we believe he's 100% tuned up. But if he's not, it will be hard for him to beat Green Falcon again. And off 56, I think he's the horse to beat. I do like what Daryl suggested. Sir William, I make him one of the runners. Blinker Strike, exactly what he said, and he's not far off Green Falcon behind Quandary. So he's one that has to be considered. And then a horse called Aspect over the page, number 10. He's been very disappointing. I've been on him a few times. I think now that he has been gelded back up the straight, there's a possibility he could be well better than what his form is suggesting. So he's one that you shouldn't leave out at about 20-1.
Lovely value to include into your play. It's a buy pot opportunity. Here it is. We'll work it out for you now. You guys can obviously use your phone to scan and have a go with it. And 169 from Daryl's side by Banker the 3 in the next leg of the buy pot. Then Banker the 3 thereafter as well. I think everybody's on to Captain's Ransom today on Saturday. 1, 3, 4, 11, 13, 5 and 6 in the next leg. And then at the back, he's going 3, 5, 6, 8, 14, 15. Race number 3 on the card. This is the Cape Sales Handicap Fillies and Mares. It's run over the 1,400 metres. And we're all building up now and getting closer and closer to the World Sports Betting Met, which they have had a promo running for the last few days. Just as a final reminder about that, if you haven't already done so, to use WSB Met 500 when you do register with them as a first-time user, and you get 500 Rand Mahala risk-free bonus, as they would say, for you to play with. Now, I know when we were talking earlier, Daryl Marie in his bipod bank at this horse, Banika, and I see the market's got it quite friendly at around 7-2 the field, yeah.
Yeah. Can I use my 500 on this?
Oh, is it, this horse, Banika?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, Gabby's joined us today, Clyde, so I'm not going to beat around the bush. I have to tip winners.
Okay.
And many are going to say Captain's Ransom's the best bet on the card. I'm going to say Banika's the best bet on the card.
Is that so?
7-2. Clyde, I went back and I watched the Cape Fillies Guineas run.
Yeah.
She came out terribly slow. If you watch that replay, you'll see what good work she was doing in the latter stages.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's a small field. Even if she's given a chance, she won't have a lot of ground to make up. And I'm going to say, although on form there's not much separating herself, Miss Marguerite and Who Do You Love, I'm going to say she's going to come up trumps and quite convincingly. So for me, the best bet's on the card, Banika. I'll make the danger number 2, Bevy's Delight. This filly has always been highly regarded. She goes around the bend once again, and that stable in the Western Cape is on fire. So for me, 3 from 2, the best bet's on the card, Banika.
Wow, okay. Darren, I don't know what you think of that. Darren Burrows, what do you make of it?
Clyde, I'm not too sure about that. I like a horse called Going Up. Now, this filly will be best over 1,400 meters. She's run off the likes of Princess Kala in her last 2 starts over 1,000 and 1,200. And she is one of the 4-year-olds in the race. I know Daryl's leaning towards the 3-year-olds. I give the 4-year-old Going Up a big chance. For the placings, I would include Banika. Who Do You Love? I'm hoping that they drop her and trip to 1,200. We'll see the best of her again. And there are others. But, yeah, that's for me.
Okay. All right. You're entitled to it. You want to go a bit wider than that. Gabriel, let me ask you, have you got a joker in the pack here, or are you on Daryl's side?
Clyde, I do have a joke in the pack. One thing I do is I respect Daryl. When a man can tip a 4-1 shot as the best bet on the card, that's the reason we have him on shows like this, and he has a following. So I do make Banika a danger, but my first choice in the race is the other 3-year-old Miss Marguerite. And she's sitting at about 14-1. So there hasn't been much between her, Banika, and Who Do You Love in about 3 runs. But I went to watch a race that took place on the 22nd of October. And if you watch that race, you will not believe how unlucky Miss Marguerite was. Her next run was also a little bit disappointing. She over-raced, etc. The Cape Fillies Guineas, she got beat 5 lengths, a very good run. And then her next start was up the straight, so we can put a line through that. She's got 52 on her back and drawn 1. This is a massive runner. And at 14-1, I suggest people have a bet. Banika the danger, and then Who Do You Love for 3rd. I do believe the 3-year-olds will dominate in this race.
All right, very, Very interesting that you find value like that, Gabs. Thanks for that. It's going to be an interesting race as to how this ends up. We've got a place accumulator worked out for you. So let's have a look at it now quickly. Ricardo will put it up. We're first going to go with what Darren Burrows has suggested. Daryl Marie, I beg your pardon. Here it is. And race 3, he obviously is on Banika. He's got a PA Banker 3 by Banker 3 by 1, 3, 4, 11, 13 by 5 and 6, 3, 5, 6, 8, 14, 15 in the PA. So a lot of horses there by 2, 10 and 16 and 4 and 6 at the back. Now, Gabriel Somers also put a PA together for us, and yeah, he's going 1 and 4 by Banker 3, by 13 and 14, by Banker 5, by 3, 14 and 15, by 1, 2 and 16, and then Banker the 14. And that PA is 36 Rand. Right, this is the Majorca Stakes. It's a big one. It's the Pick Six as well, and their big pools. The world pools now start as well. So make sure from race 4, tote, big time, millions and millions of rands, win pool, whatever you want to bet in terms of the Hong Kong commingled pools that we are betting into. Okay, Captain's Ransom, the one to beat. I would imagine, Darren, that this is your Pick Six banker or not?
Yes, for sure, Clyde. It's cut up, 6-horse field. She's different class over a mile at Kenilworth. She'll take a power of beating and a banker in the Pick Six.
Okay, different class, banker, Daryl Marie.
Yeah, I expect her to remain unbeaten over the course and distance and to remain unbeaten in the Majorca, Clyde. I think this will be her third. Not much to add. I'm not rushing out to take the price.
Well, she's 9 to 20.
Yeah, I don't think she's a steal at that price, but I think she'll win.
Okay.
Desert Miracle, we've heard Mark de Kock say he's trying to turn a miler into a sprinter.
Yeah.
She's got her issues. At her best, she's brilliant, but she has been disappointing recently.
Well, it's the Majorca. It's over 1,600 metres. Gabriel Sommer will give us his opinion on the race. Have we lost faith in Desert Miracle, Gabby, or what's the plan?
Not at all, Clyde. She's a top-class filly and she continues to run very well in feature races. But again, she's going to have to produce a career-best performance in order to beat Captain's Ransom. The rest of the card looks so difficult, and I really do believe that we're going to have to take a chance and bank a Captain's Ransom in order to catch the Pick Six. So she is the horse to beat, and I'd be disappointed if she doesn't win tomorrow.
Okay. Well, let's hope for Barcy and Suzette that she does that. We've got the Pick Six worked out for you from the team. Firstly, Darren Burrows is Pick Six, and he's going to banker Captain's Ransom. The rest of the Pick Six, their horses in the second leg. Third leg, he's gone 2 and 5 in his Pick Six over there. So Bohemian Grove and the Abdicator. Then a lot of horses. So for about 250 Rand, you can get 5% of Darren Burrows' action. Now, Gabriel Somers worked out he's also bankering Captain Ransom. Then he's going 1, 3, 14, also 2 and 5 by field. And if he's running in that Pick Six, he'll be hoping at the back of the Pick Six in race number 9 on the card that his Pick Six banker lands. And that, of course, is none other than number 14, Cousin Casey. Race number 5. Please remember that we are on social media. We've got a Twitter account, Weighted to Win, and the handle is as simple as @WeightedToWin. We've also got a WhatsApp group. There's the number. And you can join at any time by sending your name and email address, and our admin team will add you. This is a handicap race number 5. Not easy. They are betting Daryl Marie 4 to 1, the field, yeah? And Nevada King Daryl is top of the board at the moment at 4 to 1.
Yeah, Claude, this is where racing gets more difficult. Future Turn obviously improved since his gelding. I like this horse, number 3 over here. Give me more time, Clyde. He won a very moderate race in PE. Although Perfection has, besides Perfection, that was a below average field. But since then, he's impressed me. And he's got the master from a good draw once again. A lot in his favour. And he loves the course and distance. So I make him the horse to beat. But if you like the look of number 3, Give Me More Time, you have to back him up with number 11, Master of Africa. Now, he's 3 kilograms better off for a 3-length beating, and I don't believe the draw was in his favour last time out. The one draw, he went too handy to on the pace. From an 11 draw, I'm hoping he's given a chance, and I expect him to run on into the money. So for me, I like the look of the 3 and the 11.
Okay, well, Master of Africa is 20-1 on Friday. Let me ask Darren Burrows. Darren, this is obviously a jackpot opportunity for everybody. What do you think?
Clyde, I don't like the look of the race. I've played quite wide in my exotics. I also saw value in Give Me More Time. I thought he was unlucky behind Scalini. He was cramping for galloping room. Last time out, he was beaten by a decent sort from KZN. I've included quite a few here, so I'm not much help here.
Okay, that's all right. That's open. Gabriel, can you help?
Yeah, Clyde, so I thought Justin Snaith holds the key to the race. I thought Nevada King is definitely the horse to beat. He ran 2 very good runs post-maiden, and I think his second last start against Rockpool was outstanding. A repeat of that will see him win a race of this nature. I thought that Main Danger is To the Moon and Back. Drawn badly, but it's a big field, so I'm assuming they're going to go pretty fast and they'll be able to slot in. And Future Turn Off Draw 1 is my third selection, and those are the 3 horses that I've gone in the pick 6.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Nevada King, you can tick that from Gabriel's side. We have got jackpot worked out for you, so Ricardo will put it up. It is from Daryl Marie, and he's gone 1, 3, 4, 11 and 13, by 5 and 6, by 3, 5, 6, 8, 14 and 15, and at the back, 2, 10 and 16. He's spending 180 Rand. As always, the City of Cape Town get behind the Met. It's one of their big events out of that province, and they're supporting the Summer Juvenile Stakes here. Darren Burrows, where the Abdicator tops the boards, priced up on the Friday at 15-10. Bohemian Grove is trading at around 7-1. And I see they've got this horse number 12 on the card, Golden Tachana, trading at around 7s as well. It's 8-1 and bet to the others. For those that want to bank of the Abdicator, can you give them confidence?
Clyde, this horse is a machine. I actually watched this horse on the N1. I was driving and I actually logged into DSTV now on my way to the racecourse. And he jumped beautifully. He's got a big action. He's got a lovely stride, but he quickens so smartly. He put the race to bed at the 400. And I just believe he's well above average. I think he's got a bright future. I backed him up with a maiden, Bohemian Grove. I was very impressed with his debut, and he's better off at the weights with Golden Tatiana. There's been a lot of market support. So 5 to beat 2.
Okay. Big words from Darren. Lovely horse this. What do you make of the Abdicator?
Most impressive juvenile I've seen to date this season. Clyde, if you watch his replay, super impressive. From the jump, he was in control. He never got asked the question. He never got asked to extend. Very, very impressive. So out of all the juvenile races I've seen to date, I think he's by far the best. And I'm going to back him up only with one horse who happened to be in the same race. And he gets that 3 kg pull in the weight difference. Number 6. How's that?
Yeah.
Pull leeway.
Yeah.
It means it's cool, by the way.
Okay.
And it'll be very cool if he can upstage the favorite. I don't think he can. He might get a little bit closer. They are juveniles. They can improve at different rates. So for me, 5 from 6, I'm not looking past the 2 of them.
All right. Gabs, let's talk about this race, the Abdicator. You've obviously seen this horse perform. It's an 1100 at Kenilworth. And have you got something else in here if you're not confident with the Abdicator, or are you going to give us the green light?
No, I do like him, Clyde. I think he's a lovely horse. And if his first run or the second run hasn't come too soon after his first run, then he'll be a very hard horse to beat. The only other horse that I have found is number 2, Bohemian Grove. I watched the replay of his last start, and he will definitely improve a hell of a lot from it. It was definitely an educational run. They've put Samanga on, and he is the main danger. So I make it 5 from 2, and I've gone those 2 horses in my pick 6.
Okay, there appears to be enough confidence then from all 3 guys about this horse, the Abdicator. Hopefully got a bright future. Here's some information from the Weighted to Win team, and it's the Abdicator. It's as straightforward as that from Darren Burrows' side. Welcome, everybody. This is the 7 million Rand race everyone's been talking about, the World Sports Betting Gold Rush and Run Over the Mile. From World Sports Betting's perspective, they believe that this horse, Royal Aussie, might get the first check of 5 million, trading at 4-1. Second choice of the market, number 3, King Regent, is at 9-2. And then you can get 7-1 about both 11 Winter Greeting and the 14 Dave the King, whom I've been a fan of for a long enough time, but I suppose has bumped some very good horses in his career. Let me start with Daryl Marie. This whole incentive, 7 million rand behind the race. Imagine being an owner in this. Should be very, very excited, eh?
Yeah, definitely, Clyde. It's a very, very tough field. I don't know how to distinguish who's going to come up traps over here, Clyde. I think the value in the race could certainly be number 6, Seeking the One. This is a proper horse, Clyde. Now, watch his replay. He came out intentionally slow. I think that was a prep run. Louis normally places his horses extremely well. I thought that was a cracking effort. He gave the winner a lot of weight for a 3-year-old. So I think he's the value in the race. Number 5, it's Reigning William. Now, he's related to Reigning Holland. She obviously won the Oaks. He's now been stepped up in trip. I know at the ratings he's got some work to do, but Clyde, he could be a different horse now that he's trying the mile.
40 to 1, you know that, eh?
I won't discount his chances.
All right.
And then the filly in the race, Time for Orchids. I know she's got a wide draw to contend with, but Clyde, if you just go back to, I think it was the Western Cape Fillies Championship, her first run in the Western Cape, she was drawn horribly on that occasion. She ran a cracking race in need of that start. I like the fact that she's drawn out wide because she's going to be given a chance and she'll be flashing up late. I like her ridden cold. So I think this is a minefield.
I want to ask Gabriel Soma. Vaughan Marshall seems to have quite a strong hand in the race here. What do you think? Gabriel, you with us?
Clyde, yeah, sorry, there was just a glitch in the signal,
No
but
problem.
I heard everything you said. Yes, Vaughan Marshall definitely has a strong hand in the race. In fact, his 2 horses, Dave the King and Time for Orchids, are my first 2 picks in the race. I think Time for Orchids is the filly to beat. Very well weighted, of course, being a filly. So well in at the weights. She's definitely dropping in class. The draws are obvious concern. But like the previous race, it's a big field, so you would be hoping there's going to be pace on and they'll be able to slot in without racing wide. So I'm going Time for Orchids from Dave the King. My third selection's King Regent, definitely a well above average horse. And off draw 3, he is definitely one that needs to be included in all bets.
Okay, thanks for that opinion, Gabby. Let me ask Darren for yours. Darren, how do you? I know it's open, but if you normally find those double-figure horses, what do you think?
Well, Clyde, this horse King Regent was trading at 16 to 1 into 4 to 1. Now, last time out, he jumped so slow. He must have lost 4 lengths at the start last time out. And he chased up to them. He moved up like a winner and then got outrun without question. Now, we saw without question Frank that form by running second in the Politician Stakes behind Rockpool. This horse is well ahead of the handicapper, and I'm not too concerned about his rating of his current rating. See it again, the Michael Roberts runner. Now, he made his comeback over 1,400 meters at Kenilworth. And it wasn't a bad effort behind Sylvanus Dasher. This horse is going to love the step up and trip, and I wouldn't ignore his chances. I've included horses like Royal Aussie, ran 4th in the Guineas, behind some smart sorts. He's not out of it, and Dave the King.
Okay, yeah, we will respect Michael Roberts in this race. That does seem to be a very nice horse at the end of the day called See It Again. Here's a recommended play from the Weighted to Win team. There's another bipod that starts now. Daryl Marie's worked it out. He's put as many as he can. You can't really blame him. 3, 5, 6, 8, 14, 15, by 2, 10, 16, by 4 and 6, by 2, 6, 9, 12, by 9, 11, and 4 and 13 at the back. Always a great sprint, this race. This is the Pongros Cape Flying Championship. It's over 1,000 metres in the race. And interesting from a market perspective, I can tell you that Princess Keller is 4 to 1 right now. And, well, it's an impressive horse, Darren Burrows, this horse, Princess Keller. And I suppose for many people, they'd like to see this horse win.
Yes, for sure, Clyde. You know, I labelled her in her last 2 starts. That was against weaker, you have to say. She beat Pico and Stiptelik. She's now facing the strongest pair of males you can find in South Africa. You got Isi Vungu Vungu, very unlucky loser last time out. And that was his first run back. I'm not too sure if the second run back's going to be too soon. He's got to go in. Now, if this was a 1,200, I would make Gimme a Prince a good thing. The 1,000 is a bit on the sharp side, but he's a quality horse. Piet Bunzai's horse, Elysian Chief, he fancies to kill. They say this horse is working like a steam train. And the word is that Master Archie is doing exceptionally well. So I played the safe route, a great sprint ahead of us.
Yeah, no question about that. Exciting race. Daryl, how do you summarize? Because there are quite a few that can move you.
I mean, Princess Keller, she's top class.
Yeah.
So she's one for the shortlist, definitely. I mean, her 2 runs since her 7-month break have been outstanding. Last time out, she came out running. I actually think she's better. There was nothing for her to
go with.
To pull her through. So hopefully she gets some cover and she can run them down. This was number 2, Clyde. I don't know if you recall, we were still at home, doing weighted to win from home. And I watched his debut and I said on the show, this is South Africa's next best champion sprinter. And he got beat in the Grade 1 medallion. He actually ran unplaced. I'm sure there were numerous viewers over there said, who is this Muppet?
Yeah, does he know what he's doing?
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing, but here he is. So he's a champion, Clyde. I'm not worried about the 1,000 meters. I think he could certainly pull it off. And one I've just backed them up with is number 10, Rio Carrari. I know he's not the horse he used to be, but he's having his peak run. And take note, they've fitting him with blinkers, Clyde. I'm hoping that can assist him in getting some form back.
Okay, well, give me a Prince from Daryl's side and some 7-8 to 1. Gabriel, give us your view. Let's close it now and let's narrow it as to what we should do this 8th race.
Very, very open race, Clyde. So my suggestion is go as wide as the budget allows. But in my PA, I've put 1, 2, and 16. I think they're the class horses in the race. Princess Keller impressed me with her win last time. I didn't really think she could win, but she won, and now she drops back to 1,000. It's slightly concerning. But my first choice in the race is Give Me a Prince. I just think he's a very high-class horse. I think that we're going to see the best of him tomorrow, and in 1,000, I think the pace, of course, is going to be on, and he'll be able to cruise through them the way he did in his last start. So 2 from 16 and 1.
Okay, so it sounds like most of the guys are on the same page. There's lots of value to be had about number 2, Give Me a Prince. Let's have a look at what we recommend now from the weighted to win guys. And Daryl's suggesting that we go with the 2, Give Me a Prince. The 10 is giving a chance to Rio Carrari, and he's put the 16 into the race, Princess Keller. And he says, let's do some swingers and box those numbers. The moment has arrived, everybody. It's the World Sports Betting Cape Town Meta Group 1. It's run over 2,000 metres. And, of course, there's 2 million rand to race for some top horses here. Darren Burrows, going to be a very, very exciting race. World Sports Betting in their market, they've got the 3-year-old Make It Snappy, top of the boards at 4 to 1, number 2 on the card. The 4 Jet Dark is 9 to 2 and 11 to 2 about number 6, Comet Didin. 14 Cousin Casey, by the way, you can get 7 or 8 to 1 or thereabouts at the moment. We're doing this on Friday. Darren, a quick summary from you.
Clyde, it's fantastic to see the Met with 19 runners. You know, usually 10, 12 runners in the Met. Make It Snappy. Now, we saw Susanna do it with bottom weight beating last winter. Now she's got 51.5 and a 2 draw. So she's going to race handy. She's going to have every chance and she could be up to it. Dangers, the obvious 2, Jet Dark and Comedy Ding. They always finish right on top of them in Grade 1 company, and they will be competitive once again. Then turning the page, I thought Cousin Casey, he's a smart horse. He is drawn out at 14. I'm not sure what the tactics are going to be. He will be competitive and pretty much between them, maybe include Rascallion after that.
Okay. Interesting race. Sparkling Water, Daryl Marie. Let's talk about Sparkling Water.
Yes.
There was nothing wrong with that last run from
Absolutely,
from
Clyde.
her. It was a cracking run.
Kamala's going to be awake. I think he's going to be right up on the pace.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked to see him reverse that form or her reverse that form with Make It Snappy. Let's touch on her. She's been absolutely sensational. There's no doubt about it. Just on a line through Marina, I think she's got her work cut out. Marina has run against the best of them in the past and she hasn't really done that well. I think Jet Dark, Clyde, he's older now. I'm not worried about the 10 furlongs. He ran second in the race last year. He ran second in the July. He's 4 kilograms better off with the July winner. He had a hiccup in his preparation last time out. He's going to be cherry ripe. If I had to nail my colours to the mast and say, in a race that's got potentially 5 or 6 live wires, he's going to be my top pick.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Comedy Didn't go out on a high. The 3-year-old Cousin Casey on a line through Charles Dickens, he might have his work cut out with Jet Dark and Comedy Didn't.
Sure.
I don't know, Clyde. A fantastic race. I'm not having a bet. I'm watching them.
Good field. I remember we had this field size when Susanna that won
Yes.
it. Yeah, as a 3-year-old filly. A nice big field. I think it was 18 or 19 runners. I can't remember, but we did. Gabs, let's talk about this. We know that you're on to Cousin Casey. We've seen your Big Six, so you like that in terms of value.
Clyde, I do. I think he's going to be a very hard horse to beat. I mean, he was a top-class 2-year-old. We all know that. His comeback run as a 3-year-old was outstanding. I think the Guineas came a little bit too soon for him because I don't think anyone realized the Selangor was going to be such a hard-run race. And he ran a little bit below what I expected him to. His form from the previous run to the next wasn't up to scratch. He's now having his third run after a rest. I've always wanted to see this horse go over 2,000 meters. And I just think getting the 6 kilos, I just think he's a top-class horse and he's going to take all the beating.
Very interesting. Cousin Casey. I think Gabby may well be right. I like that too. And I think Comedy Ding is the danger. All right, well, let's put our slides up. We've got a few. Here's Gabriel. He's recommending that Nebraska will win the 10th race. That's his best in race 10, Nebraska. And so you can use that. And of course, he's got Cousin Casey here in terms of value. Now, we've got some quartets worked out. Gabriel's worked out he's going to banker the 14 Cousin Casey. He's taking his chances by 1, 2, 4 for second, by 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 16 for third, and the field for fourth. And that's the cost for Gabriel's quartet. And then Daryl's worked out a jackpot for us. It's jackpot 3, by the way. Races 9, 10, 11, and 12 have to run. So there's the jackpot. Those are the numbers. And let's get on. Race number 10 on the card, and in this stayers race, I can tell you that Gabriel Soma has made this his best bet. He believes this horse Nebraska very, very hard to beat in the New Turf Carriers Western Cape stayers. And Gabriel, let me start with you on that basis because you've made this horse hard to beat, and can you tell us why?
Yes, Clyde. So pretty simple. I think Chrome Yellow holds the majority of this field. I think there's about 6 or 7 horses that ran with him last time, and on indirect form lines, he still holds quite a few of them. And if I have to compare Nebraska to Chrome Yellow on form, it's two different standards of form completely. The one is good enough to run in a Summer Cup where Chrome Yellow, in my personal opinion, wouldn't be good enough to run in a race like this. Nebraska is now going over his preferred trip of 2,800. He's the class horse in the race by a long way, and I'll be very surprised if he doesn't win and win quite well.
And thank you for that. 22-10 on Friday. It's a Friday show that we're recording this, and at the moment the horse is 22-10. So Gabby, very confident. Darren, are you confident in Nebraska? Can we have a go?
Yes, Clyde, I have to agree. You know, he's the class horse in the race. He's probably one of the best stayers in the country. That comeback run in the Premiers was a cracking effort. He was 1 length off some Group 1 potential horses like Rascallion. We had Universal there. It was a really solid effort, and he's going to improve up in trip. So Nebras over Senso Unico, I think he's got a bright future, this horse. I'm glad to see he's back to best. And Chrome Yellow, the evergreen 8-year-old, can never be ignored. He's always competitive in these sort of races.
Okay, if I could read Daryl's mind, I think, we know Daryl Mind is Andre Nell. He's an Andre Nell fan. So he may well upset Gabby, and he may well upset you, Darren, as well, because he might be tipping Chrome Yellow here.
Clyde, Nebraska is no doubt the horse to beat. He's the best weighted. Cracking effort in his only starts in the Western Cape. My only reservation, he has been on the boil for quite some time now. And sometimes you get a second run in the Western Cape from a Joburg horse that is really, really flat. So that's my only reservation. If he's at his best, he'll win. There's no doubt about that. Just luck in running. Senso Unico, I was super impressed with his later start. He was only beaten by a cracking ride on the winner, Chrome Yellow. And then Silver Host, 3 wide last time out in his comeback effort. He's better than that.
Okay. All right. So a slight reservation about that second run, as you heard from Daryl, with regards to Nebraska. But I think we've got consensus from everybody. This is hard to beat. What we're doing in the race, we're going like this. Daryl Marie's taking exactas, and he's put 2, 6, 9, and 12. So yeah, they bet 4-1 in the field in the Whirlpool, the Invitational, and in this particular event, 4-1 about number 11, Falsgood and Darrell, and that was Michael Faraday. We've been for that a few times. 7-1, second choice at the moment. What do you make of it?
Yeah, Clyde, this was Falsgood. I mean, he's a 4-year-old. He's only had 2 starts to date. He's still an entire. I don't know if you can read into anything into that, Clyde. Maybe the connections have got some high expectations from him, but off a 76, here's a horse that could be potentially 20 pounds better than he's currently rated. But he was off for a year, second run after a layoff. I just don't know what to make of it, Clyde. A horse that should run into the money is number 9, Kitchikel. I like the fact that he's coming back in trip. I think he's a better horse following horses through. So I expect a major run from number 9, Kitchikel. I wouldn't be surprised if Falsgood romps home.
Yeah. Well, Darren Gimmy's Laddie came from Falsgood and came out and won impressively.
Yes, no, Falsgood, he could be above average. Never easy second run after a long rest. Dance Variety is an interesting runner. He caught the eye last time out. He was squeezed tight for room in the closing stages, and he was staying on. He only got beaten neck into 4th. Kitchikel's going to appreciate the drop back in trip. I don't think this horse stays a mile, and the 1200 could be ideal. USA's Hope, great maiden winner. I know it wasn't a strong field, but he was a runaway winner, armchair ride. So 4, 9, 10, and 11 should be enough.
Okay, well, maybe Dance Variety is a bit of a shooty in there. There wasn't much separating him and Countdown. And Countdown, of course, came out and won. Gabriel, let's talk to you about the 11th. If we need to get out of it or make some cash here, what do you recommend that we do?
Clyde, another very, very open race. So hopefully we've caught the pick 6 by now and we're celebrating. But if not, I'll make this horse Kitchikel the horse to beat. I know he's dropping back in distance, which is something that I'm not really big on, but he's a classy horse, and this for me seems like a little bit of a drop in class from what he's been running against. So he's my first choice. Dance Variety is having his 3rd run after a rest, although it's 2nd run after gelding. But I also think he's running against a lot better than what he's running against here. And I make him the 2nd choice at 10-1. And I like USA's Hope. The way he won last time suggests that he's well above average. And he could still be well rated at his current rating. So he needs to be included into all your bets. And those are my top 3 in the race.
Thanks for that, Gab. So there appears to be consensus. Of course, the anomaly in the race, as you heard from Darrell, is Falsgood. But what are we going to do? This is the second last draw of the day. And from the boys, they're suggesting 4, 9, 10, 11 in a swinger box. All right, the 12th race on the card, the WSB slots with the best. And it's a fillies and mares. It's at the 74 level, naturally going to be an open race. But this is when we turn to a guy like Darren Burrows, because he's known for finding those double-figure horses, and we may just need your help. Hopefully not, but even if not, we can make some more money. Darren Burrows, what do you make of it?
Clyde, this horse Double Dream for me, trading at 14-1. Now, her dam was an out-and-out sprinter. They've tried this filly over 1,400 meters on a number of occasions. In her penultimate start, she moved up from the back of the field. She hit the front at the 300. Looked like she was going to go on and win by 3, and she just stopped the final 100. Last time out, they changed tactics, took her to the front, put a line through the run. Dropped back to 1,200. She's probably going to slipstream the front pack, and she's got a terrific turn of foot. So off her current rating, I make Double Dream great value.
Okay, well, there you go. We might be taking 14-1 or having a go at the World Pool win pool. What do you think?
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, tough, Clyde. I think number 13 of your Rafif's Choice is going to improve on her later start, Clyde. Have a look at her breeding. Now, Sire, a sprinter. Her dam was an out-and-out sprinter. They tried a mile with this filly. She disappointed. They came back to the 1,400 with a tongue tie. She won impressively. She beat a filly that disappointed in her next start, Sharapova. But Sharapova's not going to retire a maiden winner, Clyde. So I think you can put a line through her later start. She had a horrible draw that time. Now she's up the straight. I expect improvement.
Okay, well, Darren's on this horse Double Dream at 14-1. You're recommending Rafif's Choice perhaps at 16-1. Have you got one of those, Gabriel?
Yes, Clyde. So I've studied the last race hard because if we are in trouble, you want to get out of it. So at the end of the day, I'm in total agreement with Darren here. I found this horse Double Dream as the horse to beat. I think 12 to 1's a massive price. Her run up the straight in the 1200 was a lovely run, and she was actually a little bit unlucky that day. A repeat of that would see her just about win. She's actually dropped a pound in the ratings from that day. And Double Dream for me is the filly to beat. I think Copper View, number 8, is another filly you can have a look at. She's not far behind on form. But if we're in trouble or if we're winning at 12 to 1, let's have a little bit of a go on Double Dream.
Gabs, at the moment you can get 14 to 1, so there's some good value also, Double Dream. So the guys are on it. You heard, and Daryl's on Rafif's choice, so maybe it's a double floater in the quartets perhaps. But what is the official recommendation here? And it's from Darren Burrows. Gabriel's rubber stamped it. A 4, Double Dream is the one to beat. We want to thank you all from Waited to Win. Gabriel Soma, Daryl Marie, Darren Burrows, myself. Thanks everybody. Thanks for the support and everything of the best.